All right, so I'm gonna make this video real quick because I'm running out of daylight, and if I don't finish this shit today, I'm probably gonna go insane. If you've seen me post about this truck recently, I had some super shitty issues with it. It ended up being a wiring issue that I fixed. Truck was running better than it ever had previously until the very next day. Check this out.
If you don't know what those are, it's a ton of fun. If you can't see, the whole front of the truck is off. Yes, you have to do that because yes, you have to pull these lines off. And no, there's not an easier way to do it, especially when you do it on the fucking ground outside on jack stands and a jack. So here's what happened. I fixed that wiring issue. Truck's running amazing, better than it ever had. I get to the gym the very next morning. I'm sitting in my truck calling a friend of mine. I'm parked in a spot. I go to pull forward through because I'm parked and there's a car parked in front of me, they pull out. I go to pull through that parking spot to pull forward. Put the truck in drive. Truck revs up a little bit, barely moves forward. I put it in neutral, put it in reverse, revs up a little bit, barely goes back. I'm like, uh-oh, don't tell me something's wrong with this transmission. I literally just fixed this fucking truck. The truck's been running amazing, blah, 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 right? So I open the door. And what I see underneath the car is a puddle of transmission fluid. So this line right there started leaking right there. And it burst out of the bottom there. There's a little bracket. Right after the bracket, it snapped. It's rusted through essentially because these fucking trucks, these lines look like this. And so this one right here, that one on the back side of this started leaking. Where's it at? See where the little bracket is? It was pissing out of there like a straight up stream. Damn, you can't even see the hole. It must be like a pinhole. Weird. Anyway, but I turned the truck back on. Stream straight of transmission fluid out. So literally while I was sitting there trying to call a buddy of mine a couple times, it leaked the vast majority of its transmission fluid out onto the ground. Huge puddle, probably 4, 5, 6 quarts transmission fluid. Not good. So I turned the truck off immediately as soon as I noticed that, obviously. Get it underneath the truck. I go kind of retrace my steps and I notice that there's transmission fluid everywhere. Obviously, now I see that that's leaking. I start digging into this and realize that you have to change these lines. And this shit is not fun. I've waited 2 days for the lines to show up. I got that big one. That one is an OEM one. And then there's a small one that you might as well change while you're under here because you got to disconnect it from the fucking radiator anyway. So disconnect it. You got to disconnect it from this secondary cooler, I guess. So if you have an Escalade or if you have a Yukon or Tahoe with the heavy duty or towing package, this is probably what yours looks like, 6L80. This is what yours looks like if your truck has a 6L80 and a towing package, probably very similar to this. It's fucking horrible, particularly, and I will never buy another 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle again. This thing's just creating more and more problems and issues. It's way more difficult to work on than any 2-wheel drive vehicle I've ever had because just shit is in the way. Just like right now, I have to put a new pigtail on the crank sensor, but all the 4-wheel drive bullshit's in the way. There's only like that much room. Can't get pliers in there to strip the fucking wires. It's a pain in the ass. But I wanted to make this video real quick to at least explain to you guys what needs to be done in a quick manner. So what I would do first, there's these little clips, but there's gonna be 2 of them up on the radiator there as well. I'm not gonna be able to show you this shit without getting back down on the ground anyway. So there's these little clips that hold in all 4 of the lines. You're gonna disconnect 4 lines. You can use a pick or they make a tool. I'll put a link to the tool in the description. If you go Google or rather YouTube, we're here on YouTube. If you YouTube how to remove those, there's plenty of videos on those. I used a pick. I put mine back in because when you put the lines back in, they'll pop right back into place. I'm probably gonna put a little bit of grease or something on the end, maybe some transmission fluid on the end of those so they slide back into place here. The shittiest part of this is definitely getting this out. I haven't put that in there yet, so that's yet to be seen if that will be the shitty part, but we'll see. This line is a bit more bent than this one is. I don't like that, but we'll see. Like I said, I would take the bumper off. It's pretty easy. You're just gonna take those beauty cover things off right there, whatever the hell that is, the stuff that all covers that up. And then the bumper is held on with some 7mm underneath, 10mm right there. There's 2 of them on each side. Entire bumper comes off. It has little hooks that hook onto the back side of this, so you feel like, if you feel like it's caught on a wiring harness or something, it's probably not. It's caught on this. So just peel those up off of there. This is also a great time I replace my headlights, because it's a pain in the ass to do these otherwise. So I replaced both headlights, both daytime running lights, and that turn signal, because that turn signal was bad. But if you see how much fucking transmission, that's all transmission fluid in there. So I'm gonna get to working on this, and I get these lines in here, I'll make some more video. Hopefully there's some light. This truck might not even drive tomorrow because I gotta rewire I gotta put a new pigtail on the crank position sensor. And again, because it's 4-wheel drive, there's no fucking room. I can't get my hands in there. So we'll see. This is beyond frustrating. I've had 3 major issues with this truck in the last 7 days. 2 of them have left me stranded places. Not a happy camper right now. Not super stoked on this. I'm tired of working on this truck. I want to just be able to drive it. That's the reason I bought it in the first place, was to be able to drive something that is reliable, because these have been reliable in the past. This is what happens when you don't maintenance shit, when you don't take care of shit, when you don't wash your vehicle, and when you do half-ass things. So if you're an owner right now, and that's you're a piece of shit for the next owner, just so you know. And I hope the guy that sold me this truck sees this shit. He didn't have a ton of problems. He had actually little problems when I got the truck, which is why I got a fairly good deal on it, because I would imagine he didn't know how to fix them. I fixed the little problems, good to go. But nonetheless, this one, crazy. Also, I will go out of my way in the future to buy trucks from the West Coast or the Deep South, or trucks that have never, oh great, now these little fucking no-see-em things are out everywhere. Damn it, because it was a little bit warmer today, so now I'm gonna get eaten alive as well. Awesome. Talk to y'all soon. All right, so not even gonna bullshit. I don't even know what other fucking term to use, but those lines to get back in were about 10 times easier than they were to get out. So that's good. I'm happy about that. The reason it's a little bit darker, sun's almost all the way down now, is because I've been fucking with this one line for a minute. Let me show you. I want all of these to go on, but for whatever reason, this one won't fucking stay up here. It won't clip into place. It won't stay up. Now, I pulled the line back out, tried to put it on there by itself, wouldn't clip on there anyway, so I don't know if this thing is faulty in here, but it doesn't look like there's really, I don't know, these fucking clips are just, I don't know, man. Anyway, yep. Yeah, let me get under here and show you this. It's actually a lot easier to route these than I thought, at least to get them back under here. So, pain in the ass. Never again all-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive, fuck that. I don't know how fucking often you use that shit anymore. Where's the lines? Lines come up right here. Everything went back in here pretty fucking easily. I'm really excited about that. That's good stuff. I hope this is up right for you guys. I can't tell. But yeah. Where do they connect? I'm trying to find them. I'm doing this backwards, so hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah. I'm running out of light. Want to finish this shit up, but just not smart tonight. Still have to wire this crank sensor anyway before this fucker will run. Well, it'll run, but you know, we'll throw codes and shit. I'm not trying to have any codes, so tomorrow it is, I guess. All right, well, I know I did not end this video or the transmission cooler lines on this here Escalade, which I'm driving now. And I apologize for that. I would have wanted this to be a better DIY, but here's going to be the positive takeaway from this. If you are having a leakage on those lines, they're not as daunting as they first appear. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Yes, I would definitely advise taking the front end off. There's a little plastic cover for those of you, because if you're watching this, you probably have the heavy duty, if you're watching to this point, you probably have the heavy duty version where you have that extra transmission cooler in the front. There's a plastic piece that is literally 4 bolts to take out. Maybe 6, because there's 2 in the center. Yep, 6 total. 10 millimeters, you just zip them out. Literally takes 30 seconds.
And I saw in a bunch of other videos, people are like, yeah, we cut this plastic piece off. It's where your bumper foam sits into to align the bumper properly. And I saw people cutting that shit. Don't cut it. Just take the 4 bolts off. It takes 30 seconds and move it out of the way. It allows you to access those two auxiliary cooler lines crazy easy. And again, I watched in other videos where people were saying to not take the front end off. Unless I have big hands, unless you have fucking a midget in your house or something, or you have tiny baby hands and you can fit a pick in there or the tool in there to get those clips that are on those lines out and off and easily back in, just take the bumper off. It's gonna sit, you're gonna sit there finagling trying to get those clips out of those 2 lines for literally hours if you don't take the bumper off. And the lower line that's on the radiator becomes infinitely more easy to deal with once you get the bumper off. I think the most difficult part of that entire process, yes, it's a bit time consuming. You're going to spend a few hours, more than a few hours probably, doing that, was getting the lines, the original lines out. Yes, you can just cut them up and bend them up or whatever, but I also wanted to take mental pictures, mental notes on how they were snaking out past everything, because I did not want to bend the new lines going in. So that's number one. The second thing was lining the brackets and the little plastic stays for the lines back up. That was actually kind of a pain in the ass. So yeah, it got lined back up. Everything's fine. Truck's running good. There's no leaks right now. I'm actually trying to get the transmission up to temperature so I can check the fluid level properly. But I guess it's a good problem to have. My transmission does not want to get warm. It's let me show you. I can't flip this around. Hold on. Check engine lights on for O2 sensors, but I've been driving this damn truck for 7 minutes. It's been warming up for 10 minutes. Transmission temp 97 degrees. So again, that's a good problem to have. I'm not mad at the transmission staying nice and cool at all. And the other, I guess, positive of that line blowing was that it allowed me to put all new transmission fluid into this transmission, which I did change the filter and I did pull out the about 6 quarts, but I do believe this is a 12 quart system total. And I'm pretty sure that that line pissed out all 12 quarts onto the ground. So yeah. Anyway, I apologize for this not being more of an actual DIY, good tutorial, that kind of thing. But if you have questions about this or you're about to tackle this yourself, leave them in the comments. Hit me with a subscribe. I will definitely do some better DIYs in the future, as you've seen in the past. Happy whatever day you're watching this on. Later.